more. I've deleted like 3 videos and I spent several minutes talking to you guys, and I hope you can hear me because my thing's wiggling around and I can't hear even the 3, 2, 1 make any noise. So hopefully there's nothing wrong with my phone. There might be. Maybe I'm not supposed to speak it, you know, sometimes things don't work when you're not supposed to speak it. But anyway, I'm going to do this again. I'm going to try it again. If you've already seen me, don't watch. It's all good. I'm just going to share briefly. I don't even remember what I was rambling. I'm on my way back to Los Angeles, and I've been having a lot of epiphanies, a lot of downloads, a lot of things happening in this time. The astrological stuff that's happening right now is supposedly very intense. It's been that way for a couple of years now, but this year continues the pattern. And it's really all about us again stepping into seeing, noticing, feeling what it is that's our that we need to let go of, our wounding. It's reminding us, it's bringing that discomfort up so that we can actually address it. And if you're not in touch with your body and you're not aware and you're not awake and you're not listening and you're not listening to your intuition, it's going to be really difficult for you guys to hear that. But I've been really anxious the last couple of days, and let me try this again. I have no idea. I have so many things in my head right now. I feel like I'm going crazy. But I think I'm stepping more into my purpose, and that is my own journey. I think I had mentioned before, again, if you watched this, sorry already, I'm trying it again, and hopefully I'll keep the connection. But it's all about this wounding with women. It's around women, and it's around intimacy, and it's around the wounding that we've had, the molestations, the abuse, the rapes, all the stuff that we've endured, and how it affects our relationships, our intimate relationships. So we all want to have an intimate relationship. But obviously we were never taught by our parents, for the most part, or in school about anything other than reading and writing. So we've had to learn this experience. And for me, remember, we talk about wounding as being layers, and so we peel back the layers and we go deeper and we go deeper, and so it just keeps coming up. So this is something I'm healing in my life, and again, that's why I do what I do, because I'm here to teach what I'm here to learn, and I love it. I get so many hits from other people. But I was talking to my daughter today, and hopefully you can hear me because I can't see who's watching, and I can't tell if my volume is on or it's working or anything, so I'm just going to talk. I might have to delete this one too. But I was talking to my daughter about intimate relationships. How she said how different men and women are. Well, we already know that, right? Right? If you read the John Gray book, you know. But it's true. Men see things in a whole different way, and men I don't think are very familiar with women, with their cycles. And I'm not just talking about their menstrual cycles, but there's an ebb and flow. Women have cycles, and I vice versa. I don't think women know much about men either. So I think we're all kind of in the dark, just kind of groping around the best way we can, dealing with these animal instincts, the sexual urges, and reading it as something else, infatuation and all kinds of things. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to develop a program or something. Something's happening for me, and it's really deep. But it's about finding a soulmate, and that there doesn't have to be one soulmate, but the person that really aligns with you. And it's about this whole sexual issue is around feeling safe with somebody. You're not going to be intimate with somebody unless you feel safe to be yourself, accepted for who you are, for whatever your body looks like, whether you weigh 95 pounds or you weigh 350 pounds. If you have someone who loves you, they get to love you, all of you. They don't get to judge you. If you have a cycle, like my daughter said, women have cycles of ebb and flow. Women want to be intimate sometimes, and sometimes they don't. If you read Katie and Gay Hendricks' Conscious Loving book, it talks about how relationships come together and move apart. There's a time to be together, and there's a time that people need their own space, and that's actually true in a relationship. There's a dance that happens in relationships, and if we understand how to communicate with one another and actually put other people before ourselves, because we're so self-centered and self-serving, that's where the communication really gets mixed up. And then I'm also delving into this codependency thing too, the different styles of attachment, which is really very interesting. But again, part of my wounding is and I know there's so many people out there, I can't even believe the amount of people I've talked to that have been, men and women, who've been, molested and raped and abused. And that wounding goes with you. I mean, you're just like an adult in a children's, you're like your inner child is very present in this adult body, but we don't feel very adult sometimes. So I for one, posted something the other day about, when you are in a relationship or you meet somebody, it's interesting because women literally have these different sides. And I don't know if men do or not. I mean, men have, their little boy, but women, for me, I know sometimes I feel very wise around a man. And sometimes I feel very, very much like a little girl around a man. And sometimes I feel very, sexy around a man or whatever. So we have various parts of our personality, these pieces of who we are, these facets of who we are. And so I think it's very confusing. But I don't know what exactly is going to be happening here, but I'm going to be putting something together. There's something really big here for women. And women are still not stepping up. Like that video I posted the other day, women are not stepping up. When you do a challenge and it's for dieting or, find your soulmate or whatever it is, there are a couple of categories in the coaching industry that are really big, but they don't always go very deep. I mean, let's get to the deep issues here, peeps. You can go online and find a date, but unless you know yourself and unless they understand you and vice versa and all the other stuff that goes along with it, you're going to end up possibly having more failed relationships. So let's get to the meat of it. If you're not going to show up even on Facebook and do a challenge where you come out of hiding and you just show up authentically, not giving a crap about what anybody thinks, and stop people pleasing, you're going to have a tough time. So this has been my journey also, and I'm really stepping out. I'm pushing the fold. When I get a stretch, I do the stretch, even if it feels uncomfortable. It's like, what the heck do I have to lose? I could be dead tomorrow, and it really counts for what I did today. So I really, really want you guys to remember to stand in your truth, and in relationships, or if you're dating someone new, stand in your truth. If that person doesn't accept you for who you are, they don't accept your cycles, your ebb and your flow, if they reject you because you aren't comfortable in your own body yet, if you don't feel like being intimate and they reject you for that, it's like later, that's not the right person for you. You want to be with someone who makes you feel safe. As a woman, we need to be made to feel safe. We are goddesses. We get to have passion in our life. We get to be loved. We get to be cherished. We get to be made to feel really like we're safe. And that's what really makes a great relationship. I know in my own relationships, whenever I start feeling like I'm being shitted on or projected on, or there's some weird something going on, I can get pretty bitchy because it's like I don't feel accepted, I don't feel loved, I don't feel heard, I don't feel appreciated, I don't feel understood. And that's a problem for everybody. That's what happens. So we got to get out of our self-serving ways, look at the other person, start understanding the other person, accepting, loving the other person, and start learning about each other as men and women, as partners, and again, standing in your truth, speaking your truth, even if it means you're going to lose somebody. Like I said before, so many times I work with people in abusive relationships as well. And, we go through the mind F of thinking that if we leave somebody, we're never going to find anybody else again that's going to love us. So, hey, daughter of mine, I love you. Thank you today for the cycle information. She teaches me so much, you guys. She's my goddess, wise goddess, 150-year-old wise soul daughter, and I love her so much, and I cherish our conversations. And she's teaching me more about being a woman than I've ever known, so she's such a gift to me in so many ways. But anyway, you guys, just go in the exploratory. It's like if you say your truth to somebody and they walk away, or they say, screw you, I want to have sex today, it's like, okay, bye. Thought it might have been good, but in reality, if you do what you don't feel like you want to do, or you feel you do something against your intuition, you're out of integrity, what's going to happen is, the relationship's going to go south anyway. There's no honesty there. There's no depth to the relationship. You want to have depth to the relationship. So look for people who make you feel safe. Wait to have sex a long time, because I'll tell you what, every time I've done it early on, it's pretty much screwed up the relationship. It really changes the dynamics. If you don't feel safe with somebody, you don't want to get naked in front of them, especially if you don't feel good about yourself and your body. So, yeah, I can't wait. Again, I'm going to be doing something amazing, and I can't read what my daughter wrote, but I will when I'm done driving, and God knows what she said. I have no idea. I cherish you guys, and I really look forward to supporting you, and I'm going to do everything I can in my power to keep showing up and demanding that you guys show up and speak your truth and stand up for yourself and find your voice and be who you are and create boundaries and create amazing lives for yourself, loving yourselves, and also demanding that you have a relationship that serves you and fulfills you, and you know, obviously you get to do that for your man as well. But I have a lot of time when I'm driving. I get to think a lot. So you guys have a great evening. Tomorrow's Monday. It's another work day. And I'm just, you know, listen to your intuition, guys. Something's going on right now that's really bringing our life purpose to the surface. If you want to know what your life purpose is, start feeling into your body. What are you feeling energetically? Where are you feeling it? What are the conversations going on in your head? What are the conversations in your heart? What are you feeling? Feel into who you are. Your inner being is trying to tell you what next step you should take or what direction you should go, and you don't have to have the whole picture. You take the next step. It's just like me. I have all this stuff going on around women and intimacy and all this stuff. It's my healing. It's my healing. But I don't know where it's going, so I'm just speaking it, and I'm showing up, and I'm taking the next step, and I'm really excited about it because it's my healing. And you know what? It's going to change all my relationships, every single one of them. You know, I'm going to rock my relationships, and I'm going to love myself. I'm going to love my mate, and I'm going to love everybody around me, and it's going to be amazing. So I look forward to that. I love healing. You know, our healing and our layer healing never stop. It just goes on and on. It never stops. It just gets better and better. You peel away something, and then you go deeper, and then you peel away something. So again, if you're, you know, with somebody who perceives themselves to be perfect, or they're not accepting later, there's a whole lot of fish in the sea out there, and there's someone exactly for you. Just when you think, it's kind of like when my dad bought me a car, and he went to get me a car at the auction when I was a kid, and I wanted that. It was a Pinto of all things, and I wanted that Pinto so badly, and I didn't get it, and I was so depressed and so disappointed terribly for like weeks. And all of a sudden another one came with mag wheels and a CB radio and blue with stripes, and it was the coolest freaking Pinto you've ever seen. You didn't know there were any cool Pintos out there, did you? And you know what? I got the most incredible ride, and I was so excited that I didn't get the other Pinto. So there are a lot of fish in the sea, and there's someone exactly for you, and you get to wait. You know, why go through 20 divorces, you know, and do what I did? and just be patient, work on yourself, and wait for that incredibly dreamy, beautiful being, whatever they look like, who cherishes you and loves you and accepts your ebb and flow, and accepts your dark and your light side, and accepts all of who you are. And then you get to do that for them too, because when they do that for you, you want to do it back. You want to give back. That's what creates this incredible stuff in a relationship. It's that support. It's that love. It's that acceptance. Acceptance is everything. If you don't feel accepted, understood, heard, seen, all that stuff, forget the relationship. Forget it. Okay? So, love you guys. Really am going now. And I will talk to you soon. You have an amazing Sunday night. I'll talk to you probably tomorrow. Bye now. Thanks for watching.